Am I the a-hole because I banned my step-family from my house and being disrespectful to dad's wife? Plus updates. Original post. Okay, so I, 28 female, am conflicted. This is a long one with some backstory. My dad, 66 male, divorced my mom, 61 female, when I finished high school. They were in their 50s. They had not been working for a long time. He remarried last year to a woman, Shelley, 54 female. She has 3 kids, Jacob, 32 male, Amelia, 29 female, and Alex, 29 male. My brothers and I didn't really interact with them. At the beginning of last year, I inherited my grandfather's estate and got to move into an amazing house. My dad was the one who was supposed to inherit it, but my grandfather was a petty person and gave it to me. I have been in the house since November 18th and have had very few visitors. It was mostly contractors to fix up the home, build a large fence, and refurbish the barn. I was feeling really good about my decorations and how nice it was. My brothers, Damien, 36 male, and his wife, Nadine, 32 female, Lachlan, 30 male, with his partner, Marianne, 33 female, and my younger brother, Matthew, 24 male, were over to look at the renovations and to plan the holidays when my dad arrived with his new wife. I felt a little upset because I had not invited them. My dad had sprung a lot on us, like the wedding, and I had not even gotten a chance to meet her before we arrived at the wedding. My dad told me about a barbecue that he was having so we could get to know each other. We had a few drinks with some snacks before people began going home. It seemed normal. I arrived on time and Shelley huffed when I walked in. I hugged my dad and went to the backyard. I stayed mostly with my siblings and their partners. We are all introverted, so social gatherings are awkward. Dinner felt awkward. I was sat in the corner next to the kids. We were all engaging in small talk when suddenly Shelley asked why I was taking antidepressants and a few other medications. She also told me that if I was that unhappy, I shouldn't be in such a big house all by myself. The table went dead silent. I asked why she was in my bathroom. I didn't even know when she had a chance to go into my bedroom or bathroom. Shelley told me that family didn't keep secrets, and it was her job as my new mom to make sure I was okay. I looked at my siblings and they were all shocked. I told her that she wasn't my mom and that going into my bathroom was a gross invasion of my privacy. Shelley told me that I was overreacting and that I was just like my crazy-ass mother. I got up, told her that she was not welcome in my house in the future and that I would not be coming to any family functions that she was participating in until she apologized to me. My siblings walked out with me. They could not believe that she would be so audacious and act like that. My dad called later and told me that I was being sensitive and that Shelley probably just needed to use something from my bathroom. I told him that he was putting on blinders and this was a red flag. He told me not to talk to him until I calmed down and acted like an adult. I don't think that I was being unreasonable, but I am overthinking now and wondering if I might be the a-hole. I need some unbiased opinions because I think we might be biased from my dad's blind side with the wedding and everything. Please, I also need advice moving forward. I love my dad and I want to at least be cordial with his new wife. Clarification, they left my house. It was the next day that we went to their house for a barbecue. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. Well, someone is clearly unhappy that you inherited that house. Stand your ground on this one. Not the a-hole. She invaded your privacy, aired your business out, and then proceeded to be rude and disrespectful. Your dad's in the same boat. If anyone did that to my child, wife or not, they'd be getting an earful, not my child. You're right to ban her from your house. Okay, thank you. I've been spinning a bit. Not the a-hole. She's nosy and invasive, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was looking for things to steal. If you have anything valuable, double-check to make sure it's still there. Also, put up security cameras if you don't already have them. I'd guess that she heard about how the house was supposed to be your dad's and feels like it's her right to go through anything and everything in it, since in her mind, it belongs to your dad, and of course anything that belongs to him belongs to her as well. They don't see it as your house. They see it as their house that you're keeping from them. Your dad is a piece of garbage who is choosing the body warming his bed over his own child. Tell him you're not apologizing, and as far as you're concerned, if he's okay with her being an invasive harpy, then he can stay out of your life too. She's not your mother, never has been, never will be, and nothing you do has anything to do with her or is any of her business. She's not family, and if he's going to let her treat you and your siblings this way, he clearly isn't family to you anymore either. I have security cameras and dogs who are a-holes. My property's large, so I also have some other guard animals that are mean to me, so they'll be ruder to trespassers. My dad is not the easiest to get along with. He is introverted and has a hard time with confrontations, part of the reason why it took them so long to divorce. He has reached out to my siblings and asked them to talk to me about overreacting, and my older brothers have told him to go get his head out of his behind, and when he finally sees what is wrong, they will be willing to talk to him again. My younger brother is trying to convince us that we need to sit down and have a talk without Shelly to really talk about everything. Now for the first update. This is only a small update because of everyone telling me that she was going to try and take my house. I called my dad, which was really heartbreaking. I asked him what he would do if someone went through his things. He said it was different because she was worried about me. He then told me that he spoke to her about his mentally unstable daughter who makes poor choices. And I'm not lying, I started crying. I asked him if he wanted a relationship with me, because his actions were screaming that he no longer wanted me. He let out a deep sigh and asked if I was still talking to my shrink because I was acting just like my mother. I am ashamed to say that I started yelling at him over the phone. How dare he treat me like this? How dare he talk about my personal information with a stranger? And how dare he act like this is okay? I have been medicated since I was 14 because of him. I have given excuses for his actions for years and tried to be a good daughter, to do things that are outside of my character, to fit his idea of a perfect daughter. So screw you. Then I hung up the phone and called my emotional support human, my older brother Damien, and cried to him. He was running errands, I suppose, because he showed up at my house and brought with him ice cream and Baileys. We sat in my bed with my dog and ate ice cream and drank Baileys straight from the bottle. The next confrontation is with Shelly in a day or two. Also, for those worried, if I am institutionalized or anything, my brother Lachlan gets the house. I am also going to call my mom, because this has been more upsetting than I thought it would be, and she will fly in and rip my dad a new one. Possibly might punch Shelly too. Right now, I just need booze and the comfort of the strangers from the internet. Second update. So, Damien summoned the rest of our siblings for emotional support and cuddles, and Marianne called my mom. I called my shrink and explained what was going on, and have a session tomorrow to talk about the emotional roller coaster that I have been on. From what I can tell, Amelia is still talking to my mom about how my dad is being a disrespectful a-hole, and Lachlan and the rest of my siblings are helping me with chores. I have emailed my lawyer about my will. Many of you are concerned about my dad trying to gain guardianship of me, which will never be an option. In that case, my older brother would be the one taking care of me. Shelly has tried calling me a few times since hanging up with my dad, but I don't want to talk to her. Right now, our youngest Matthew is talking with my dad and Shelly. I have been looking over some of the texts he has been sending with updates of what they're saying. My step-siblings have also been talking to me. Amelia told me that her mom was awkward and really just wanted us to like her, but I don't know. I'm really on the fence if I even want to go and speak with Shelly. I can understand, to a point, my dad's concerns, but at the same time, I have been healthy and taking care of myself for the past 6 years. I have been doing really well, if I say so myself. I have a great support system with my siblings, and I might even be willing to get to know my step-siblings. Also, my mom is flying in apparently. She has been in Ireland for the past 5 years and has been very happy, but feels that it's time to rip my dad a new one for mistreating her little chicken. My parents divorced because my mom was unstable, which was just an excuse. She is bipolar, so she can be a little much. For those worried, my dad has very little info about my mental health. He was the person who got a phone call because he used to be my emergency contact and was at the bottom of the list. Unfortunately, my brothers were not answering, so they contacted him, and all he heard was that I was on a 72-hour hold for my own safety. He has held it over my head. I am going to have limited contact with my dad, as many have suggested no contact, but I don't want to cut him off. My brothers have been very supportive of me with everything that has been going on. They have been making plans because they have been reading this too. They keep telling me I should bring one of my pets to my parents' house and let it loose. From what limited information I have, Shelly is terrified of spiders, and I have a few that would make a lovely addition to their home. There are some really nice spots for a spider to hide and reproduce. But I don't think I will. I don't want them to get squished. I am setting up more security cameras, as well as adding locks. My will is still in place from several years ago, stating that everything I own would be given to my brothers. I have no trespassing signs all over my property, as well as a very good gate that keeps most invaders out. I will update in the next few days with news if there is any. Next story. Am I the a-hole for going no contact with my dad and siblings after a big fight where I accused them of replacing mom because they want to be taken care of? 6 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with a rare form of stomach cancer. I, 22 male, was 16 at the time and the only one who stepped up to take care of her until she died. My dad tried to talk her into carrying on as normal and taking care of everything and everyone because he didn't think he could. He'd get so mad at mom for being too tired or too sore and stiff to get out of bed. He always made excuses not to drive her to chemo and other medical appointments. He broke down sobbing when she went for surgery, and not because he was so scared of losing her. It was because he didn't want to handle everything while she was out of commission. He even asked if they couldn't figure out ways to treat her where she could be normal. In the final 3 months of her life, she was bedbound and he was either at work or sitting around the house complaining about how nothing was done. My brother was 15 and my sister was 13 at the time, so it wasn't like they could do a whole lot, which I get, and they were kids too, so it shouldn't have been on them. But they complained about not having the same food as when mom was healthy. They used to ask her why she didn't make them their favorite snacks and everything. She could be puking up her guts or unable to move in bed, and they wanted more from her. They were always getting mad at me for not keeping things like they were before. Then they'd accuse me of hogging mom, but wouldn't go and sit with her. Whenever I tried to let them talk to me, they'd complain about all the stuff they hated me for, and would still say I was taking away their time with mom. The last thing my brother said to her was why couldn't she get out of bed to make him a birthday cake early, so he'd have one last mom-made birthday cake. And it wasn't even his birthday yet, hence the early comment. After mom died, everyone was having a crappy time and I got grief for having one too. They would yell at me for pulling away from them. They yelled at me for dropping out of school to get a job where I was doing, instead of sitting and learning, for not taking care of them, and for telling them to F off. But dad could lose his job, could get drunk and sleep around, and that was fine. He could bring random women over and screw them within weeks of mom dying, but to hell with me, I guess. My brother could get into fights in school where he almost had criminal charges brought against him. He could literally steal from everyone to pawn it, and he could even steal some of mom's things to pawn. But that was also fine. Oh, and he got suspended twice and was so close to expulsion. My sister could smash stuff, bully her friends and other kids at school, and spend $5,000 on one of dad's credit cards without permission. That was all fine. But I was expected to be better and not grieve. I was told I had stolen everyone else's time with mom, that I was the reason mom was dead. They said I ruined everything. So I moved out and stayed away, and then dad met someone else and married her. Then I was getting grief for not meeting our new mom. My siblings were calling her mom from the jump, and everyone slotted her into their life where mom left. I was called selfish for not doing the same. They said I was ruining the family and the family vibe. That new mom was feeling hurt that her oldest son wouldn't even meet her. I was told over and over how amazing she was, and how she took care of them so well and did everything for them. After more than a year of that, I lost it, and I told them if their selfish butts wanted to replace mom so they could be taken care of, then go ahead, but I never would. And I said I hoped they didn't live to regret acting like mom was so easy to replace, because that was exactly what they did. They replaced her. They acted like she wasn't important after all the crap they gave her, and then me. Then I went no contact. It's been over a year now since that. They were trying to get in touch but couldn't, and didn't believe me when I told them I was done. But after a while, they wondered why they couldn't reach me. So they had my uncle ask, and I confirmed I was no contact. He was shocked. He asked me why, and I told him I was working on myself and wanted nothing to do with them after everything. Then he said I should cut them some slack, and I told him no, because they cut me none, and they were awful, that the new mom stuff was it, and I was done. He told them, and he shared how mad they are, and he shared how he felt I was being too harsh. I don't get why I have to be the one to accept all that crap, and why I need to be Mr. Freaking Perfect. But maybe I am an a-hole? He also brought up when I accused them of replacing mom, and he said that was going too far. Not the a-hole. Screw all of them. Uncle should be next on the no-contact list if he keeps putting pressure on you. I hope you're in therapy. This is a huge thing to process on your own. I started therapy in the last year. I had been trying to find a therapist for a few months before that. It's rough, and I'm still not through the hardest parts yet, but it's helping. F all of them, and F your uncle too. I'm sorry, OP. Thank you. I miss my mom so much. And now knowing my uncle can't be trusted is rough. He was the last one I talked to.